Today, I released every quarterback in the NFL. Like literally, every single one of them is sitting in free agency, ready to be signed by any team. And to make this even more interesting, everyone's getting released at week 11, so every team has their real life record. So some teams might get a real upgrade, but others could get a massive downgrade. And there's just enough games left to play where teams could still turn around their season or completely fall apart. So let's sim to the playoffs, and we'll start in the AFC, where in the East, the Patriots won the division, but the Jets somehow turned around their season and made the playoffs, and the Bills totally fell apart. We're already off to an insane start. Well, it makes sense how the Patriots stayed dominant because they got Josh Allen, who finished out the year great for them, throwing for 4,000 yards and 42 touchdowns. But oh my God, there's literally no way. Out of all the options they could have chose, the Jets brought back Sam Darnold. As a very depressed Jets fan, this is the best thing that's happened to us in years, because he finished the year with 4,200 yards and 45 touchdowns. And the Bills totally fell apart with Joe Flacco as their quarterback, who had 3,120, and the Dolphins finished last with Caleb Williams throwing for 3,219. But moving to the North, the Ravens ended up winning the division, and the Bengals even turned around their season, making the playoffs too. And the Ravens ended up getting Jalen Hurts, who threw for 3,125. But wow, it does make sense how the Bengals turned it around, because they got Justin Herbert, who had an insane year with 4,500 yards and 39 touchdowns. Their playbook is legitimately overpowered, but the Steelers fell apart with Kyler Murray at QB, who had a pretty terrible year with 2,100 yards, 11 touchdowns, and 16 picks. And the Browns had JJ McCarthy throwing for 1,916, which does remind me to mention that some stats might seem lower than they normally would, because a bunch of these quarterbacks have missed time in real life, so naturally the numbers are going to be lower. But moving to the South, the Colts kept up their real-life dominance, and they picked up Baker Mayfield, who finished the year with 4,400 yards and 41 touchdowns. The Texans got Bryce Young, who had 2,116. The Jaguars decided to keep Tua in Florida, where he threw for 2,825. And the Titans got Brock Purdy, who's missed a ton of games in real life, so he only had 1,600 yards and 13 touchdowns. And lastly in the West, the Chargers and Broncos both made the playoffs. Funny enough, the Chargers brought back Jared Goff to Los Angeles, where he put up 4,200 yards and 37 touchdowns. And Patrick Mahomes actually stays in the AFC West, going to the Broncos, throwing for 3,929. And his former team, the Chiefs, literally could not have got a bigger downgrade, because they ended up signing Justin Fields, who had an absolutely terrible year. And even though Bo Nix had a pretty good year statistically, there was no way he was saving the Raiders. But now let's go to the NFC, starting in the East, where the Eagles won the division going 11-6. And they actually picked up a division rival, signing Dak Prescott, and he finished the year with 3,900 yards and 35 touchdowns. But the Giants also decided to bring back their former quarterback as well, because they re-signed Danny Dimes, who put up 3,629. Genuinely hilarious that both New York teams decided to do that. But the Commanders got Michael Penix, who threw for 2,700 yards and 21, and the Cowboys got Cam Ward, who threw for 2,510, but he had 20 interceptions. In the NFC North, the Lions got the 1 seed, going 13-4, with the Bears also making the playoffs at 10-7. And it looks like Drake May continued his MVP campaign in Detroit, because he finished the year with 4,800 yards and 42 touchdowns. But the Bears got a massive upgrade, getting a healthy Joe Burrow, who's basically been out all year but still threw for 2,400 yards and 22 touchdowns. Unbelievable that the Bears got one of the best QBs in the league and still cannot get a 4,000-yard passer. And Aaron Rodgers followed in Brett Favre's footsteps, going to the Vikings, where he had 3,129, but the Packers finished last in the division with Geno Smith and his 22 interceptions. Now moving to the South, the Bucs were the only team to make the playoffs, going 13-4, and they brought in Jaden Daniels, who's also missed some time in real life, but he still finished the year with 2,700 yards and 20 touchdowns. The Falcons got Trevor Lawrence, who threw for 3K and 23. The Panthers got Mac Jones, who had 3,126, but Jordan Love might have been the quarterback that got screwed the most, going from the Packers to the Saints. And lastly, in the NFC West, the Rams won the division, going 13-4, with the Niners and Seahawks also making the playoffs. The Rams decided to go with the rookie Jackson Dart, who threw for 2,200 yards and 20 touchdowns, but their former QB Matt Stafford stayed in the division, leaving LA for the Bay to play for the Niners, finishing the year throwing for 4,700 yards, and he led the league with 50 touchdown passes. But the Seahawks also made the playoffs with Lamar Jackson at QB, and he's obviously been hurt in real life, so his numbers are a little low, but he still put up 2,426. And the Cardinals Cardinals were last in the division with CJ Stroud, throwing for 2,820. And I think the MVP is going to come down to Matt Stafford or Drake May. But let's see which one of them won it. Oh my God, wait, it was Jonathan Taylor. I didn't even think a non-quarterback could win the award. I've literally never seen it happen. Oh my God, now I understand why. Because he had a record-setting year, finishing with 2,800 yards and 35 touchdowns. That is absolutely insane. And I know I like to make fancy graphics for the videos, but I need you to see in game that this is real. But now this is going to be our playoff bracket for this season. And we'll start in the wild card round with the Broncos versus Ravens, tied up at 10 late in the fourth quarter. By the way, I want to apologize that this video is coming out a week later than I intended it to, because after I recorded all the season stats stuff, Madden decided to kick me out and deleted my franchise file. This is why you do not use online franchise. Thankfully, I had all the information, so I was able to recreate the playoffs exactly the same. But right now, it's 3rd and goal from the 9 for the Broncos, and he gets hit. So they're gonna have to settle for the field goal to take the lead with a minute to go. So Jalen Hurts and the Ravens still have a chance, but they only got 1 timeout and 50 seconds to work with, and they're not getting much. And wow, they're gonna spike it? That makes no sense because it makes it 3rd down, and Hurts is gonna run, hits his own lineman, and he does pick up the first down. I got him to the 37, but it burned their last time out. So he's gonna throw. No, he's not. He's gonna run again and pick up another first. Up to the 48 with 20 seconds. He's gonna throw. Oh, he actually is gonna throw. He's gonna run again. And they actually might get in field goal range here. But the clock's ticking. Can they get the snap off to be able to attempt the kick? So it's a 55-yard attempt. It looks like he's got the leg, but he's gonna miss it wide left. So the Broncos hold on to win this game. They had a chance to tie it, but Mahomes moves on. And we move on to the Bears versus Bucks. It's Jaden Daniels going up against Joe Burrow. But the Bucks are down by 11 with about a minute 45 to go, but they're in the red zone, and they only got 1 timeout, so they got to score fast and get the onside kick. And Jaden Daniels got the rushing touchdown to get part 1 done. And they're going for 2 to make this a 3-point game, and Bucky Irving doesn't get it. So now they need the onside kick or it's over, and it is going to be over. So the Bears win this game and move on. Next up, the Bengals blew out the Chargers. And after that, the Niners very easily took down the Eagles. And last up for this round on the AFC side, we got Sam Darnold and the Jets going up against Josh Allen and the Patriots. And late in the fourth quarter, the Jets are up by 3. And they got the ball at midfield with a chance to decide this game. It's a read option to Darnold, who's gonna get the first down and so much more. It's been a real low scoring game, but the rain has definitely played a factor in that. Hall gets 9. I just can't even believe the Jets are in this position because they literally had to win out. But Darnold got it done, so let's see what they do on 3rd down, and Brees is going to get stopped short. So the Jets are going to settle for the 40-yard field goal to extend their lead to 6. But they left Josh Allen almost 2 minutes on the clock. And while a field goal does him nothing, a touchdown and an extra point will win this game, which actually does not seem that impossible right now. But time is the problem. They're going to do a jet touch pass, which lost him 2 and honestly just wasted time as we're going under a minute. He's gonna lob it to the sideline and it's caught by Hunter Henry. So they're at the 39 with 45 seconds. It's a screen pass to Gibson, who's gonna get caught quick. And it's 3rd down, so they can't spike it. The clock's going under 30. Allen's got time in the pocket. He's got all day, and he's actually gonna throw it downfield. And he's got Henry wide open, getting all the way down to the 7. So now they are so close. They just gotta get it in. If he's stuck in bounds, it's over. And it's across the middle, and he's in bounds. So they're gonna run out of time. And the Jets are gonna hold on to win. Sam Darnold takes down Josh Allen. And last up for the NFC, we got the Seahawks versus Rams. So it's gonna be Lamar Jackson going up against Jackson Dart. And in the fourth quarter, they're tied at 17. And the Rams got the ball at midfield, so let's see what Dart can do. Like, there's plenty of time left. He's gonna actually step up out of the pocket and get a first down here. That got him all the way up to the 28, so they're easily in field goal range. He steps up and throws, and he hits Puka Nacua for a first down. That got him to the 10, and they do snap it for the 2-minute warning, and they're getting the touchdown very easily from Kyron Williams. So Jackson Dart leads the go-ahead drive. Oh my God, no, please stop. Oh man. I thought the sim speed was set to slow, but clearly it wasn't. But thankfully I caught it where there's 9 seconds left and they're at the 18. He's got Cooper Kupp across the middle, who's got space, and he's gonna get all the way into the end zone. Cooper Kupp with a huge score against his former team. And oh my God, they're going for 2. What are they gonna call here? It's an all-out blitz by the Rams, and Lamar throws, and it's broken up. So the Rams are gonna hold on to win by 1. Jackson Dart is moving on to the divisional round, where we start with the Bengals Bengals and Colts tied at 24. And in this game, the MVP, Jonathan Taylor, has been a menace because he's already got 200 yards on the ground and scored 2 touchdowns. And the Colts got the ball at the 41. I love Baker Mayfield, but I just want to see Taylor. And a first down sack is definitely not what the Colts need. Baker's going to step up and check down to Warren. And now it's 3rd and 3 as the clock goes under a minute 15. I wish they would just be smart and hand it off to Taylor to kill time. And he's actually got space and a first down, which sets up a 30-yard field goal attempt as time expires. And he hits it, so the Colts win the game. So we move on to the Niners versus Rams. But the question is, will Matt Stafford be able to take down his real-life team? Well, I guess he can because the Niners won 33-0. But Stafford literally could not have been better. He had a perfect passer rating and threw for 416 and 5 touchdowns. So now we're gonna go to Denver to see Patrick Mahomes and the Broncos going up against Sam Darnold and the Jets. And in the 4th, the Jets are down by a touchdown, but Breece Hall's open in the end zone to get the touchdown to tie this game up. So now let's see what Patrick Mahomes can do. Like, he's got time and timeouts, but a sack is definitely not how they want to start the drive. He's gonna throw across the middle, and he's got a first down who's gonna break a tackle, and he's got no one in front of him. So he's gonna go all the way for the touchdown. But Sam Darnold still got 2.5 minutes and 2 timeouts to work with, but he's got Garrett Wilson open, and he's gonna get all the way to the 31. So now the Jets are getting close, and they still have 90 seconds, but now they're up to the 24. They gained 8 on that one, and that's caught by Taylor, and he breaks a tackle and gets a first down. And they're still saving those timeouts as we're getting close to a minute, but that's gonna be caught by Rucker, and they use the timeout, so they're at the 6, and they have a minute left, and Hall's open with space in front of him, so he's gonna get the touchdown. And oh my God, they're going for 2. They could easily send this game to overtime, but they want the win, and Mason Taylor's open, so they convert the 2-point conversion. That was a super aggressive call, but Mahomes still has 50 seconds and 3 timeouts to get him in field goal range. That one gained 9, and they burned a timeout. He's gonna throw across the middle, and he's got a man past the 50. And now the clock's ticking under 30 seconds, and they only need a few more yards, and Franklin gets him close. But it's only a 48-yard kick, which is nothing in Denver, and he hits it. So now the Jets are gonna need a miracle. Darnold's gonna just have to chuck it deep, and he's going to Garrett Wilson, who looks like he's open, and he's got it, and he's tackled. But he's inbounds, so they run out of time. I thought they were gonna pull it off. But last up for this round, we got the Bears versus Lions. But the Lions got the ball at the 36 with 2 timeouts, so they're definitely in field goal range, and May's gonna run and get close to a first. But they're running hurry up. They gain 7, and they're at the 29. He's gonna run again and pick up a first down and way more. And they still got 2 timeouts, so they have the middle of the field to work with, but May's gonna take off, and he's got a ton of space in front of him, and he dives and gets in for the touchdown. So the Lions take the lead in this game with under 30 seconds to go. Joe Burrow's gonna need to pull off a miracle here. So now you're at the 42 with only 15 seconds and only 1 timeout to stop the clock, but Odunze's gonna catch it and get out of bounds. So now there's 9 seconds left. They might have 2 plays if he gets out of bounds quick, and that got him 7 yards closer. So this is the last play. Burrow's gonna lob it up, and it's broken up. So the Lions are gonna hold on to win this game, which means Drake May is moving on to the NFC Championship, where he's gonna take on Matt Stafford and the Niners. And in the 4th quarter, they're down by 7, and it's 3rd and goal in 90 seconds, but May throws, and he's got Jamison Williams open for the touchdown to tie this game up at 17. But Stafford and the Niners still have 3 timeouts, and they only need a field goal. Kittle's gonna gain 8 there. So in one play, they're up to the 41, and it's a handoff to CMC for a first down and more. They probably only need about 10 or 15 more yards, but Stafford's gonna throw, and CMC's got it for another first. Up to the 39 with a minute to go and a fresh set of downs, Ayuk gains 9. And wisely, they're letting the clock run, so it's going under 45 seconds as CMC gets a big first down here, getting inside the 15. So now the clock's going under 30. They should just keep running it with him. So they're gonna put up the kick as time expires. So win the game and move on to the Super Bowl. But will they face the Broncos or Colts? It's crazy with all the offensive talent in this game that this is still tied at 0. Baker's gonna lob it up deep, and he's got Downs wide open for the touchdown that's gonna give the Colts the lead. But now Mahomes and the Broncos still have a minute 20, but they're gonna have to work quick because they gotta go the whole length of the field. Ideally, you want to try to save those timeouts until you're after the 50, but Mahomes is gonna run, and he's actually gonna pick up a first down. That got him to the 37, and they used that second timeout to screen, and he's got blockers in front of him, and he's caught in bounds. So now they got no timeouts left, but 30 seconds. They gotta get it out of bounds, but he's gonna run up the middle, which is gonna get a first. So now it's 3rd down, and they got 7 seconds. This is probably the last play of the game, and it's caught by Mims, but it's in the middle of the field. So unfortunately for them, they're gonna run out of time. So that means Indy is moving on to the Super Bowl, giving us a matchup of Baker Mayfield and the Colts going up against Matthew Stafford and the 49ers. And they got the ball first and have worked it to the 17. Stafford's gonna throw, and he's got Ayuk along the sideline for a first down. So now they're at the 2. It's a handoff to CMC. No, it's not. It's a read option. And Stafford got suplexed, but he's gonna throw, and he's got Jennings open for a touchdown. So now we're in the second quarter with the Colts still on their first drive. It's a handoff to Taylor, who makes a man miss, and he's got space in front of him. Is he gonna get all the way in? And he hurdles and gets into the end zone for the touchdown. That was an insane run by him. And that score is held all the way to the fourth quarter. And they're already in field goal range, so they're in the driver's seat. Stafford's gonna throw, and he's got Pearsall inside the 10. At this rate, the Colts would be better off letting the Niners score just to give him more time. And they're at the 6, and they snap it before the 2-minute warning, which I don't think is smart. So now it's third down from the 4, and Stafford's gonna get sacked. So the Colts bend, but they don't break, and they're able to hold them to just 3. So now they got a minute 50 and 2 timeouts to get into field goal range to tie this game up. They're gonna, I thought they were gonna spike it on second down. They came out in a spike formation, but they do pick up a first. So they're up to the 31, the clock's ticking. It's going under 50. Baker's gonna get sacked, but he only lost 4, so they're still definitely in field goal range. He's got Warren up the seam. Now for the love of God, please don't do anything stupid. Baker's gonna throw, and there's a penalty, and it's pass interference on the defense. So that puts him at the 1, and they hand off to Taylor, who gets into the end zone, which puts the Colts up by 4 with 17 seconds to go. And the Niners have 2 timeouts, but they gotta go 81 yards, and he's got a big first down here. But there's only 5 seconds. This is the last play of the game. Stafford's gotta go to the end zone, and he checks it down. So that means the Colts are Super Bowl champions. So that's gonna do it for today's video. If you wanna watch more, click one of the videos floating on screen right now. I'll see you guys soon. Be good people.